The extra step that lost the war. In the next 15 minutes, you'll see why the sweetest moment of victory can flip into your worst defeat, and how to stop before that happens. Author Daniel Hayes, storyteller. Remember the last time you felt unstoppable? Good. Keep that feeling handy, because what you're about to hear will teach you to enjoy it without crashing the plane on the way down. San Diego, summer 2011. Marco Lee had just closed the biggest deal of his short life. His little sports app startup, built in a garage with 2 college friends, was being bought by a tech giant for $40 million. The contract lay open on the metal table, every page signed. The lawyers shook hands, the cameras flashed, and Marco's mother cried in the corner. That night, the whole team hit the rooftop bar downtown. The city glittered, the champagne flowed, and every problem looked small enough to flick off the railing. Marco kept telling anyone who would listen that this was only the beginning. 2 weeks later, the same buyer offered another $8 million if Marco would stay 18 months and add one extra feature, a location-based betting module. The due diligence guy whispered, "Easy money, kid. You've already done the hard part." Marco didn't ask many questions. The money felt like free topping on an already perfect pizza. He tossed the contract to his lawyer saying, "Get us a little more if you can," and signed the next morning. Problems came disguised as small bugs. First, state gaming boards wanted months of paperwork. Then the Federal Wire Act emails started. Marco's quiet garage days turned into red-eyed meetings with men in suits who kept saying phrases like felony class and asset freeze. Still, he told his team, "We've come too far to quit now, double down." He cashed his first buyout check to hire lobbyists and extra coders. Every solved form spawned 2 more. Users loved the feature, regulators hated it, lawyers adored the billable hours. The 18-month deadline hit like a brick wall. The tech giant's legal chief flew in on a Tuesday. He slid a settlement across the table. They would keep the $8 million earn-out. Marco's company would take the legal fallout. They would also forfeit the original $40 million if they fought back. Marco stared at the signature line, seeing only his mother's face at that first celebration rooftop. He signed again, but this time he felt the ink burn. Within a day, the app disappeared from stores. Within a week, most of his staff walked. Within a month, Marco sat alone in the same garage, lights off, door up, watching traffic roll by. 2 years later, I met him at a coffee shop near the harbor. He looked thinner, spoke calmer, laughed easier. I asked what he'd learned. He said victory has a hidden timer. I asked what he would do differently. He sipped his coffee, eyes on the pier. "Stop right after the win," he said. "Thank everyone, take the check, go surfing for a year." He tapped the table. The extra step I took wasn't ambition. It was fear dressed up in a tuxedo, whispering that enough was never enough. He smiled, but the corners of his eyes stayed tired. Since then, Marco has built another company, smaller, profitable, quiet. He still signs deals, still celebrates, still feels the urge to grab more. But now he keeps a post-it on his monitor that reads, "Past the mark lies the fall." He told me the hardest part isn't knowing when to stop. It's accepting that stopping is its own form of strength. He closed his laptop and said, "The goal isn't to own the whole ocean. It's to sail home with the fish you came for before the weather turns." Summary: Marco's story shows why the most dangerous second in any fight is right after you win. Push past the original target, and the same people who cheered can sue, freeze, or forget you. Real power lies in halting while the crowd is still loud, the check still clears, and your future still belongs to you. Victory belongs to the one who knows the finish line hasn't moved, even when the head screams for one extra stride.